spot in Cannon Beach. And now we're live on the Facebook and our KGW.com stream. This is the hard part for me when Nina is not here because she usually holds the stick.
She's already holding it down.
Well,
that's a bad angle. We want to go up high.
Go higher.
Well, what the heck? Now look at this.
I think it makes you look skinnier. That's what I choose to believe.
I want it
way high.
I know. Camera.
Can you explain why we're just munching away here this morning? I know you're going to get to it, but we should do a disclaimer.
This is silly looking, though. Okay, it doesn't look silly maybe to you guys on Instagram, but if you're watching on Facebook, look at the guy.
Looks ridiculous.
His arm is 9 feet long.
Yeah.
What the heck is this? I let Nina get away with it, but now that I'm doing it, I feel like this has to stop at some point.
Well,
the madness.
Stop the madness.
So we have a viewer recipe segment coming up.
Yes, we do have a viewer. Oh my gosh.
We will get to that.
I still have to hold this. Okay. We have a viewer recipe segment coming up. We just did it live on TV on the Sunrise Show. This being, of course, the Sunrise Extra Show online. It's viewer Greg's Asian glazed and grilled ribs, and he's going to walk us through the whole process here in a moment.
It's amazing.
So that's coming up in mere minutes.
Okay, I'm going to stop munching away.
No, keep eating. I think the people like it when Brenda chews while we chew some other newsy topics. There was a lot of, I would call them like talky stories this morning on the Sunrise Show. We had the one about the kid who ended up on the conveyor belt at the airport.
Oh, man. Luckily, he was okay. I mean,
but he hurt his hand apparently, so he wasn't completely injury-free, but nothing serious. But he ended up on a conveyor belt in the back bowels of the airport.
The back bowels?
What does that even mean? The back bowels of the airport? Who says that?
I got distracted. Celeste, you come into the Sunrise Extra program. You just don't walk behind the camera.
Come in, join us.
Executive producer Celeste Ruiz, hand delivering.
No, come into the light.
The selfie stick. Okay.
Come into the light, my dear.
Instagram.
Celeste, feel free to weigh in with us today.
Bear with me.
How do you, it's like herding cats, trying to get us to do like the right thing, right?
You put him in charge of this. That was problem number one.
Oh, no.
What is this?
It's a full meltdown.
Christine Padawane.
Yeah, but I think it only goes that way. Right? I can't get it long. Nina usually has it full ways.
Why don't you give this to us to do while you explain the story? Sorry, Instagram.
All right, so Instagram, sorry, this is a rocky ride today for you,
yes,
but
it is.
Facebook, look at how smooth your camera is. Thanks to Grant behind the camera here this morning. Another talky story, Brenda and Ashley and Celeste now working on the Instagram feed, was the woman in Massachusetts who was simply jogging her normal jogging route.
Right.
And some creeper
Here's a video.
Allegedly exposes himself to her. So you're seeing the video right now if you're watching us on the Facebook and our live stream at KGW.com.
Sure.
So this guy, we described him as picking the wrong woman to mess with.
Yes.
Want to pick it up from there, gang? What happened next?
Okay, so I think her name is Aya. It turns out that she is a former Israeli military member. She is 6'1".
Yeah.
So of all people that you want to mess with and allegedly flash, is what happened. Apparently exposes himself while she's out jogging, right? And she's like, oh, heck no. So she chases after him and she grabs him and holds on to him. The part that I think is crazy is that she's like holding this dude. She's yelling for help and nobody comes to her rescue. Somebody managed to take a cell phone video. However, they stopped and recorded. And then the guy ends up getting away. But that girl, I'm surprised she didn't kick his butt.
Now, she looked to be running and jogging down a pretty busy street, so maybe it was hard to navigate across that street. I don't know, to help immediately. But here's the question I guess you could ask viewers, because there's a moment in that video where it is clear that she has the option to just keep running in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
She chooses to circle back and go after this guy. My question for the viewers, whether you're male, female, whatever the case may be, would you circle back and go after this guy if he exposed himself to you, or do you head for the hills and run the other way? I'm thinking most people go the other way.
Absolutely, I think they would, but I feel like with her military training, like she's kind of law enforcement, and law enforcement puts himself on the line. Oh, I don't want this. I think that
I agree. I think that personally, I wouldn't tempt that.
Terrified.
I wouldn't tempt fate. You don't know if he's like armed or what he's going to do to you. So I would not. But I have lots of guys too, but female friends who are in like law enforcement. I know they would tackle that guy or take him down or chase after him, especially if he did something illegal. So
here's a question for you, Ashley, Brenda. Would you tackle that guy? Talking about that guy.
I can't imagine you'd ever do anything wrong.
But do you think you could take me if you had to?
I do.
That's an easy question. That's one of the easiest questions ever posed.
I was expecting at least some sort of a dramatic pause there.
Like a consideration?
Your confidence is a bit insulting, my dear.
Rod, have you noticed that I am handling the Nina duty of holding this selfie stick so that the Instagram viewers can continue to watch us on the Instagram?
Instantgram.
The Instagram. So we can also,
like minute rice?
without Nina being here policing us, we can wait no longer. We can skip right over to the viewer recipe.
Oh, we
segment.
can.
Oh, wait, real quick.
Okay.
Real quick.
ahead.
Ginny says, kick his behind if you had the ability. These guys need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
My daughter runs with pepper spray. You know, I've always had this, like, I've always wanted to just, if I came across a bad guy, you just go mace him and you just pepper spray the crap out of him.
I knew there was a little streak in
I would
you.
do that to this guy for sure.
Well, it's good to know that you carry that with you.
I do. Marlene says, I would do something. Yes, I am prior military. So
Good for you, yeah.
Good for you guys, yeah.
I've never followed
morning,
really the
Carol.
Instagram feed. I let Nina handle that, so I'm now trying to finger through that. Well, I'm using our thumb through it. Sorry.
You sound like someone so out of touch with social media.
So you touch the phone to make it work.
My God.
Now listen,
Me too.
Rob in St. Helen.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, right. He's I know a constant viewer of the Sunrise Extra
Yes,
program.
he is.
Rob St. Helen says, before you start, what's going on at the waterfront? He says lots of people down there.
Oh, the beer fest.
Yeah.
is on
That's
there.
the Oregon Brewers
for
Festival.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oregon Brewers Festival, for those who do not know, started yesterday, runs through Saturday.
Yep.
First year, it's not been held on a Sunday. So if you're going to check it out, do not wait until Sunday this year. You'll have missed it.
By the way, that is one of those events. I've never met anybody that has gone that didn't just rave about what a great time they had.
Yeah.
So apparently
I've heard it's
they,
so fun.
they do it really well.
Yeah, they do. They pack them in.
Some years hotter than others. The one time I can recall going, and I haven't honestly gone in about a decade, not since our boys were born, but I went before kids, and it was like one of those 99, 100-degree July days,
Yeah.
and you couldn't get the beer quick enough. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
hydration, please.
That is not
gonna be the case
hydration.
this weekend.
I mean, today maybe we hit 90. Tomorrow it's possible, but then the weekend's definitely cooler. 80, 82, 83.
I'm going to get y'all flustered, Drew. Ready
you
for
gonna do?
this?
What's happening?
I'm going to get him flustered. Tracy Thompson
boy.
says, Drew, the show is over here. Speaking to this camera.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. What am I supposed to do? I don't
You're supposed to do both.
You're supposed to look at
You're
both.
supposed to do it all.
Multitask. Now,
it
if I'm
all,
looking
baby.
over
Like
here,
how I
that's
did
fine.
that?
I'm more comfortable doing that. Oh, I got this over here.
Hey,
That's
I'm an
supposed to control.
appendage.
We're trolling you. Take us to the food.
Can I go eat
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go eat.
I'm begging and pleading. There has got to be a better way to get this thing that we do, Sunrise Extra, on the Instagram versus one of us holding the stick like this.
Why do we have to
would
have
think
the
so.
selfie stick? Why can't somebody else come in and
I don't know.
shoot it from a different
That
angle?
would make sense. Not sure.
I'm over here. Come
I'm
on,
just
Drew.
saying.
We're going to meet a viewer.
Yeah.
And, this is where I had to flip that look around. Whoop! Oh, look at that. Yes. Look at
do we
these.
see
We've
him?
got Greg.
Good
See Greg?
morning.
And we have Greg's wife and his 2 daughters.
Oh, what are the daughters' names?
Grace,
Grace?
and Lexi.
And Lexi.
Hi,
Beautiful.
guys.
Hi.
Lexi here, Grace there.
What grade are you girls going into?
I'm going to the 7th grade.
Oh,
I'm
that's-
going into 5th.
All right. So last year in elementary school, is that right?
That's right, Rob.
Yeah,
Having a
that's
fun
exciting.
summer then? Just being on TV and whatnot.
Casually being on TV.
What'd you say?
Casually being
Just casually, just here at the
Casually.
TV station.
Way to do it.
NBD.
Ashley peppering them with questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rod filling his face with more cornbread.
So, on Sunrise, Drew.
Oh boy,
Yes.
here we go.
Not to take over your show, but we talked about the ribs, but I want to talk about the cornbread for a second, because it's actually very good too. I mean, this sounds like an obvious statement, but it's not. Not all cornbread tastes like corn. This does, which I really love. I love the fresh corn taste.
Bob's Red Mill, cornmeal, and then there's fresh corn in it as well.
Why aren't you guys eating?
Yeah,
Is
it's
my question.
very good.
Why are we the only ones eating?
well, maybe they
this?
feel like they need to be invited.
I don't want
into
to get
the- into
corn or ribs in my teeth yet.
Oh, I am. You don't care about me doing it,
chops
Greg?
and the chops.
If you're not familiar with the segment, we call it Viewer Recipes, and this time around it's Summer Favorites. Greg, you are a faithful viewer of the show, I know.
Yes, I am.
And you've seen this segment, and at what point did you realize, you know what, I should probably submit a recipe because I think I'd be awesome at that, because you are awesome at this. When were you, how come, I guess I'll put it this way, why did it take you so long to submit a recipe?
I don't know. I always seem to miss it. Like I'd see the segment and then go, oh, I should submit one, and then, but then once my friend Paul has now been on twice.
Yes.
Then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna submit one and see what happens.
So who's Paul? Refresh my memory.
Which
Paul.
food did Paul make?
Pam and Paul Anderson from Gladstone
Oh,
this year did the Thai
you're friends
pizza.
with. That's funny. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, they did the Thai
Thai
pizza,
pizza was
which
great.
delicious. And more than anything, what I like about these segments, and this is the truth, Rod said, yes, the food is important, and you're right, Rodney. The food is
It
important.
was very important to these segments.
But honestly, it's meeting these viewers who so far have not disappointed me. We have some nice viewers. We have some here right now. We also have the Chris McGinnis. Look at this, Chris.
I'm going to slide in here because I've been dying to try this all morning, and Greg, nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, nice to
in
meet you.
person.
Yeah.
welcome to the Sunrise
Instead
Show.
of just
Good morning,
over
guys.
the Instagram.
Instagram. This could be instant great here. Let's see.
Instagram.
I'm giving our Facebook, pardon me, our Instagram followers a panoramic view of this extra program. Look at all the people now eating the food that Paul provided. So Paul, serious business. You prepared this two ways. First, you used an Instant Pot, and then you used your Traeger. So let's start with the Instant Pot. Why do you like this as a means of making ribs?
So it makes them super tender, and you can also do it a little more in advance. So like 9 minutes is all this cooks in the Instant Pot, but that's like equal to like 2 or 3 hours of what would be low and slow cooking to get them tender and cooked. So, and then once they're in the Instant Pot and done, they can actually hang out for a day before you throw them on the grill. So you can.
That is nice.
If you're having company, for instance, you can maybe put this together on Saturday before the company arrives on Sunday. Sunday, all you're doing is grilling.
Yeah.
We have video right now. If you're watching on the Facebook feed, you can see the video of Greg actually showing us how this is done. Now, it's hard to see this and then try to repeat what you see. What may be easier is actually following the written recipe. So we have that available right now on my Drew Carney, KGWTV Facebook page. It is all spelled out in recipe form. So we do thank Greg again for stepping up to the plate and sharing this with us. Rodney, Ashley, Christopher.
Look at all these people coming in.
Who's this guy?
Falling down.
Can I introduce you?
Andrew walks in.
Andrew.
Andrew Dorn, one of the producers now, and new to the game, new to the team. He's been with us for about a month.
Who's rocking some sweet bedhead, I might say, on the back there. You go.
I start all my food
On the back.
ribs.
Yeah.
I specifically told the boss that you should not eat on this segment until you're at least 3 months into your tenure here.
Whoa.
So you're here a little early.
I don't have weight to lose.
What do you guys think? One at a time, what do you think of Greg's ribs? Maybe describe them in a word or two.
What kind of crack is that, Ashley?
They're outstanding. Outstanding. And I love I love the sauce. Absolutely love the sauce. I want to make this.
We should talk about the sauce because you call them Asian ribs because you use a couple of ingredients that people may not be familiar with, starting with that rice wine.
So yeah, there's mirin, which is a Japanese sweet cooking wine. So that's in the sauce. Then they have a Chinese dry mustard powder in the dry rub. So you're doing that. What's also great about these is that you are straining the liquid that comes out of the Instant Pot to make the glaze. So every bit of flavor that goes in this is coming back out. You're keeping it. You're not losing it through any cooking processes.
So it's good for the environment, is it?
Yes.
It's sustainable, Rod. It's
sustainable.
Is there some ginger in here too? I swear
and then the sauce, there's fresh
you
ginger.
have a good palate.
I know, it's like Chris McGinnis and Detective Tongue.
Pick each
I want to make
Detective
this. I'm going to follow the recipe.
There's so then in the sauce, there's the sweet cooking wine that you do in the Instant Pot, and then you reduce it all down in a skillet on the stove, and in that there's sambal, which is like a sweet chili paste, and then some soy sauce, sugar, vinegar, and fresh ginger.
I'm showing the ribs off right now on the Instagram.
You have all those ingredients? So you said you work for Kroger, so Freddie sells all that.
Freddie sells everything.
You didn't have to go to an Asian market.
Nope,
or anything.
nothing.
Rod, describe the experience that is taking place in your mouth right now, my friend.
Well, I had the ribs earlier, but again, I'm originally from Iowa, corn country, so I'm a little partial. I talk about Missouri a lot, but originally from Iowa, I'm a little partial to things that taste like corn. So I love the fact that he has fresh niblets,
including his jokes.
and the cornbread, which is very, very good.
Can I make a point? I feel like there are two types of people in the world when it comes to ribs. There's this type of person.
Yeah.
Or there's. Do you guys? I don't
I'm
finish
that
all of it.
person.
I don't
You gotta finish the rib.
I don't know. I just
That's
don't.
the best part.
I know.
What are you doing to the ribs?
No, there's some things that dogs have figured out better than humans. Just sitting there chewing on the bone is a wonderful
Listen,
experience.
Greg is with me on this. You do the same as me.
I do the same thing.
Who else clears their
You
ribs?
gotta chew on the bone.
You are too? Oh, you're with Rod?
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
There might
Greg.
be an in-between. I try to get most of it.
It does.
Drop another one and I'm like,
There is a little heavy gristle sometimes in there that you're
I
like.
got a lot of it.
You don't clear the meat off the
I'm a
bone?
low resistance eater. It's too much work for me
I know,
to get
I'm
it
ready
off.
to just get another one and leave the rest of that.
drop another one and I'm like,
This is the one I had earlier. Is that pretty clean?
No.
No, you don't think that's good?
Not really.
Okay.
Rod's is like literally there's nothing
That's
on
not
it.
Rod Hill clean.
Well, you're right.
I'm probably
Jeez.
more Drew's clean.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close.
Andrew, what are you? What kind of person are
Yes, I
you?
could.
You gotta clean them.
You clean them?
Rib-
No, I'll
rib
just get a different one
clean
and
spectrum.
leave it.
Rib cleaning 101. So we
Rod.
should point out what's going to happen now. I can
is
tell you
this?
from
That's a big hunk of
experience experience in television. People are going to go, hey, he didn't share the cornbread recipe. Right now, all we've shared on my Facebook page is the ribs recipe.
Oh yeah, you gotta share
you
the
need to
So
get
is
that
this
cornbread
something
recipe in
that
there,
you
too.
actually have a recipe for, or did you just do this off the top of your head?
I will admit, it's a New York Times recipe.
A New York Times recipe.
okay.
So people
Yeah.
go to NewYorkTimesSay.com and search cornbread. They'll probably find this
Yeah,
very
it's
recipe.
Sam Sifton's cornbread recipe from the New York
notes.
Times.
That saves you and I from having to post it ourselves on my Facebook page. So just go to the New York Times, ladies
I've
and
got to
gentlemen.
slip out. Thank you very
Where
much.
you going? Hey, Chris McGinnis.
Well, I got a little.
where you going?
I got to run. I got to. Somebody's got to keep doing their job over here while the rest of you guys are just chowing down. So
This is our job.
Thank you.
We are doing our job. Again, the family from
That's
Happy
sad,
Valley,
actually.
the latest viewers to participate in this viewer recipe segment we've been doing all summer long. A segment that I know, for one, Rodney Hill and the new member of our staff behind the scenes, Andrew Dorn, and even that sometimes finicky picker, finicky
What the heck?
eater, Ashley Korsland. Ashley, you are a bit of a choosy eater.
You're from
careful
Montana.
with what you put in
Why
your
is
mouth.
that? I think of Montana people not being finicky eaters.
I'm kind of plain. I don't like tons of flavor. That's probably why. Grew up on steak and potatoes. I don't like tons of crazy flavors.
But this
Or
works
spice.
for you, and I feel like
Spice.
this is a flavorful rib, and it works for you. Why?
Well, it's not too spicy.
It's more sweet. It's sweet though.
Yeah. No, but I do love the mix of flavors, and you can kind of taste different
spicy,
things.
A little sticky, a little sweet,
Yeah.
little heat.
The texture of it is great.
Meaty.
Can you speak, Greg, to just participating in this segment? Obviously, on Tuesday, my photographer, Eric, and I showed up at your house. We spent
Yes.
about 90 minutes there, maybe,
Yeah.
putting together this recipe. Then we asked you to come in early morning on Thursday, today.
all
You had to
right.
be here at 6:15. Can you talk about the experience? Because we're going to probably do this through the first 3 weeks of August. If you haven't submitted a recipe yet, you still can do so, again, by going to the aforementioned KGW TV Facebook page of mine, Drew Carney, KGW TV on the Facebook. How do I get this flipped around so people can see it on the Instagram? There it is. There's the Facebook page. There's the address you want to check out. How difficult or not difficult, Greg, is participating in this segment?
Not difficult. It's really easy. You have your stuff ready to go. Drew and his camera op, they show up, they make it really easy for you.
Bingo.
You just
He's basically asking if we're weird and uncomfortable to be
Yes.
around.
No, not at all. It's so comfortable and it's easy, and you don't have to be nervous about being on camera. There's none of that. They make you really comfortable, and it's super easy.
Do you think your family is comfortable being on camera as
Oh,
I
yeah.
pan the Instagram feed on them?
My tip would be make a recipe that you're familiar with. Don't try to
Yeah.
just submit something
Oh, yeah.
that you've never made
Yeah.
before.
Because then you'll stress if it doesn't work right.
If it
or-
doesn't work right,
Yeah.
or I've never made this, or you're not super familiar with it. So do something that is a favorite that you've made a couple times that you know how it goes through.
Would you say when we were taping this part at your house, it is taped, it's not a live segment we did at your house, so we have the ability when needed to kind of do something over.
Yeah.
Would you say we stopped and started over again more times because of something you did or something I did?
Ooh, I want to hear the answer to this.
I really only remember one time. And I think it was Drew wanted
I
to
think it
redo
was
something.
on you, Mr. Carney.
Yeah.
By the way, our director is saying that some of our viewers on Facebook are telling you great job, and it's Jamie. Says, great job, Greg.
Oh, thank you, Jamie.
So
Well, that's the other thing. You guys need to pick up the slack because typically I'd be keeping an eye on the Facebook feed.
I can't right now.
That's it. I can't.
There's ribs and cornbread.
I'm eating
Okay.
ribs.
Yeah, this definitely requires another person. Maybe a Brenda Braxton type. Someone to follow the Instagram people
should.
and some going
It's
to
not Instagram.
Instagram.
It's going to be Instagram from now on.
Well, we
God.
kind of threatened him that we've always said we were going to turn him in to do this because he loves cooking.
I love cooking.
Yay.
It's super fun.
He
It's
always says he should be on Worst Cooks in America, and we're like,
No, worst cooks.
In America?
It's a joke. It's
Yeah.
a joke. And we're like, this is going to be your reel. We're going to get all the footage from Drew, and we're going to turn you into next Food Network star.
There you go.
No, I showed Brenda even yesterday. I was showing her some of the stuff we shot at your house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this recipe's really good. She said, man, that guy is great. He's fantastic. And I feel like we found, not to take away from your efforts today, they've been wonderful, but I feel like we found quite a few viewers
been
this summer
great viewers
who have
this
come on
summer.
here and been stars. They shine in this opportunity. I will ask you this, and we haven't normally asked the viewers this question on these Thursday mornings when they're in studio. You watch the Sunrise Show regularly.
yes.
What does regularly mean? 2 times a week, 3, 4, 5 on the average?
On the average, 3 to 4.
Okay. Something about the show that you really like that we should continue on with?
Sunrise or Sunrise Extra?
The Sunrise Show,
Sunrise
the
Show,
TV
TV
show
show.
itself from
Okay.
5 a.m. to 7
The
a.m.
5 to 7.
Yeah.
You're really putting him on the
could it
spot.
be the
Like more Rod Hill, less Rod Hill.
Think about that
Seven
one.
Day comes to mind, for example.
Think about that one. Next question.
Less Rod
Something that you
Hill.
see on the show that you say, man, I wonder why they do that. They'd be better off not doing that part of the show. There has to be something.
Well, it's hard to say because it's live and it's news coverage. I mean, the lifestyle segments are great. The out and abouts are great. The weather coverage is great. You know,
The weather
All
coverage.
right, no, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just thought you seemed like a pretty genuine guy who, if he had an opinion, would share it with me, even if it wasn't the one I wanted to hear.
Totally.
All right. I guess you like.
more traffic from Mr. McGinnis.
Whoa!
All right.
You like the McGinnis man.
You should have asked.
All right. Christopher, more traffic from you. The audience is demanding it.
In all these years, we've been trying to appeal our traffic segments to the people who drive. we missed the boat on that one.
Chris really hits it off with people who are not yet behind the wheel.
That is great.
We are going to bid farewell to our guests. Again, they are the Broadwaters from Happy Valley.
Yes.
Greg and
Nice.
company. They provided us this morning with ribs aplenty and the cornbread, the cornbread that Rod really liked.
I like that cornbread.
There he is.
Here, you have a piece right
Sunrise Extra every day after the Sunrise
Bye,
TV
guys.
show, online and on socials like the Instant Gram.
Thanks, Greg.
there. Stop.